Welcome back to episode 2 of the series where I try to build my first pedalboard and I have no idea what I'm doing.
It did seem like something that, as it progressed, it was hard just to let go, just to think this thing was going to happen without any kind of documentation at all.
So in episode 1, I talked about why I resisted building a pedalboard for the longest time, why I eventually started, and my first purchases. Now you might be wondering, why on earth are we filming this video in the car park of a storage facility?
I felt like we needed to do something.
I still don't have a permanent address. I'm currently living with extended family. This is my cousin's guitar, pedals and stuff. Because most of my stuff is in storage, I can't tell you about the next thing I bought after my tuning pedal and compressor pedal because it's in there somewhere. But at some point there'll be an episode about my loop pedal. What I can tell you about is the story of a guitar.
It started out that we were going to do just the simplest thing, get it on film so, you know, someday we could look at it. It snowballed.
I started filming this video in 2022. I've always been a very impulsive purchaser, but this camera and one other purchase have proved to be something that have given back. And that, of course, is the first guitar that I ever bought for myself. So when I turned 18, my grandfather gave me a gift in cash. All of the grandchildren, I hope, got the same gift when they turned 18. I took my money and immediately went to the guitar store. And I saw this one, this beautiful kind of brown tobacco hollow body. And I said to my dad, whoa, I could actually afford this guitar. And I thought he would say, don't spend your money on that. He said, oh, all right. So I did it. It was the first guitar I ever purchased for myself. My first guitar my parents bought for me at a pawnbroker's for like $40, $60.
Wish I was a crazy moment with a YouTube account making movies.
This was the first guitar I bought with my own money, and I recorded so much of my early music with this thing. Any electric guitar playing on the old stuff, or even bass playing, which is really just me playing a bass part on that electric guitar and like boosting the bass and the EQ. And it was me and this guitar out to get the world. But eventually I started recording more acoustic stuff. I did use this guitar for a few live shows. I loved that guitar, particularly because it was essentially a gift from my grandfather. But it kind of became this beautiful instrument that didn't get used. And when in COVID, I bought a Stratocaster online because I found out that you could buy a guitar that looked like Robbie Robertson's guitar from the Last Waltz.
Wow.
It wasn't the Last Waltz replica official guitar, which was like $20,000, but it was the same colours, and it was like a normal price, so I bought one. So this is Ophelia, so named for the song. Why would anybody leave so quickly for Ophelia? So I bought this in lockdown, and suddenly I was that person that owned 2 electric guitars. I didn't need 2 electric guitars. And it was time for the beautiful Ibanez hollow body to go. I'm very determined that I don't put the money in my bank and let it just kind of witter away. If I make $500 or whatever it is selling that guitar, I'm going to spend $500 on gear for this guitar and my bass. Because wouldn't it be nice if every time I'm playing I look down at my pedal board and I think, oh, that's the one that Grandpa bought me. Because if he gave me the $1,000 that I then spent on the guitar, that I then sold to fund a pedal board, then that's the pedal board that my grandpa bought me.
Great idea, Woody. I like your thinking.
So I took it into a shop and put it on consignment with them, and many months went past, and it's been weeks and weeks of back and forth emailing. And then yesterday I got a letter. This was just kind of a handwritten envelope from the guitar shop. And I genuinely thought for a moment there that I was about to open it and find just like a pile of cash. It's just a handwritten letter that says, hey, we don't have your bank details. That's why we were emailing, so I don't know why it turned into a letter.
Office advises that the number you have dialed has been disconnected.
This was when I realised the shop had gone out of business. It's cold and raining and late at night. Trying to cram a letter into the storefront of this guitar shop was closed. But I did find there was an email address on there that's different from the store one. This is my dream car. A black Jeep. I did manage to slip the letter under a door. I couldn't find a letterbox. We'll see what happens. All I could do was all that I could do. This is a little ludicrous. I emailed the email address that they had left on the door. I never got a response. At this point, I was like, do I go to the police? Will they care? Is this stolen property? And I had reached all these dead ends and I couldn't do anything. And then out of the blue, like weeks and weeks later, money appeared in my bank account. It wasn't the total price that I expected to get for the guitar, but it was clearly from the guitar people, so I just accepted that was the end of the story.
Welcome to
Now! Quickly, Sheriff! The airlock is closing!
So one final thought to end the video, I want to land it here. Invest in things that will give back. In the early days, I just bought instruments. Learning to play this thing, learning to play this thing. Oh, this looks really nice. Oh, this looks really nice.
Do you now want to do anything else musically?
Sure.
And that's okay early on. You have to try things. Is helpful?
Yeah.
But eventually, as you figure out what works for you and your taste and your style, you've got to start becoming smarter about where you put your money. I thought my parents would think it's a silly purchase, but they knew and understood before I did that this thing would give back, and it did.
I really wish you didn't have to go, but it's all just part of growing old.
If I'm going to sell this guitar, I'm going to reinvest that money back into the pedalboard that I'm trying to build. So I bought the Ripley Falls bass pedal by Jam. That's for another video. I recorded an unboxing when I got it because, again, in 2022, when I started making this video, I thought it would be that, a video where I make my first pedalboard. Little dreaming I would fall down the rabbit hole, and this has to be a series.
Oh! Watch where you're going! Sorry!